guys, it's Jouelzy and it is February, which means it is Black History Month. And in honor of Black History Month, I will be presenting a tech video every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, culminating with a tech tweet up the third Tuesday of this month, which would be February 18th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will be tweeting some technology tips that delve into creating your own online brand, YouTube, and general things that I do at work as a web developer. Now you might be saying, what does technology have to do with honoring Black History Month? Black people are the largest users of the internet. We get on things and they become revolutionary. Twitter, Black Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, even this here YouTube platform where it may seem like Black folks just ain't winning as content creators. We are. You just have to find us. We just really don't know how to use the internet to our benefit, which is why we have crappy websites that are making tons of money like Media Takeout and World Star Hip Hop. So I thought to do tech videos to help my community learn how to better use the internet for their benefits. This is a follow-up to Jessica Leigh's video on how do YouTubers make money. A great video which I left a very long comment on, and it inspired me to start this whole series. And to be talking exclusively about partnerships and multi-channel networks, because there tends to be a lot of negative connotations, especially in the Black beauty guru silo, with regards to signing to a network and what that means for your channel. So before I get into the good and give you all this info that's going to change your life, please go check out my new video series where I only have one video up currently. Find the Valencia filter, hashtag BTVH. Had to think about it. First up, I have Jovian Zane. She works at Teach for America. Jovian is offering a ton of insight and information to young people about not just Teach for America, but about creating your own success and being you and being comfortable in you. Specifically chose her because she is part of the Wonderland Society, Janelle Monáe's collective, who is like her sister. And of all people, she could definitely be stunting on Instagram and social media like Christmas at the Obamas. But she is very humble and she has chosen to pursue a career in something that is not often considered as glamorous, when she could very well ride on that damn bandwagon, because you know I would. But I appreciate her strive and her diligence in becoming a leader in the nonprofit sector. So go check that video out. It's inspiring. It's awesome. Right here, and links down below. So let's get into this good. Full disclosure, I am signed to the platform, which is a beauty silo for Makers Studio, also known as RPM. And we will get into my feelings on my network and my relationship with them later on in the video. But this is my second network that I have been signed to. And my first network, which was Alchemy Networks, left me with a horrible taste in my mouth. So we're also going to talk about how I got over that. So, yeah, ladies. As I said before, there is a lot of negative connotations, specifically in the Black beauty guru silo, around networks and what it means for your channel. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that YouTube just allowed for networks to come about. Maybe I feel like I didn't find out about them until like 2 years ago. The early became popular and there was this great rush to join networks, and I feel like everyone just kind of went and signed up with a network because we all thought that we were instantly going to make a ton of money and we would get branding deals and we become the next Dolce Candy or Michelle Phan, quit our day jobs and just become YouTube content creators. Like, that was it. So a lot of people ran into dealings and contracts that sounded great but didn't really understand what the terms meant, and they got shafted in the end. First things first, networks cannot control your channel without your permission. Machi Mina, and any of the networks. Literally, YouTube, once you do agree and sign the contract with a network, YouTube makes you read all they fine print. You gotta sign like 3 full pages. You gotta click on Madish. I agree, I know, yes I know. Like it's like 18 pages through sign your channel over to a network. You way that a network is taking control over your channel without permission. Secondly, please do not respond or entertain these people that are inboxing you on your channel saying like the random people that are out of like India, and you go on their website and you don't see any other channels that look like you. Do your research. Socialblade.com is a great resource. Not only can you look up networks, you can look up other channels and see what networks they're signed to. You can see what their statistics are, what your own growth. It's a great analytical database that kind of gives you a little bit more insight and information than your YouTube dashboard does. So do your research. The big deal with a multi-channel network is that a multi-channel network will sign a ton of channels to their network, and therefore they can offer better CPM. Much money you can get per ad showing per 1,000 views. If your videos are not getting high views within the first 1 to 2 weeks of you uploading it, or they don't go through growth spurts where they collect like 2,000 to 5,000 views in a span of within 7 days, your CPMs are going to be rather low. Now, if your channel just stays holistically on YouTube, YouTube does not have a dedicated sales team except for like people that are like on Michelle Fan's level with like millions of subscribers. Their sales team will help sell ads on those channels and help them kind of sort of do branding, but the YouTube sales team, within respect to how big YouTube is extremely small. YouTube ain't thinking about the ads that run in front of your channel and how to upsell them. Now, signing to a network would help to increase your CPMs because in theory, network will put you in a silo. So I'm on the platform, which is a beauty silo at Makers, and they will sell ad space collectively for that silo. So it will sell ad space for me amongst the other people that are signed to the platform and say, hey, your videos are run on all these beauty channels, this is our demographics, these are our numbers, and they upsell it and your CPMs increase because now the per 1,000 of views is lumped together a bunch of other channels. Yes, we all know that racially ambiguous and the white women are winning on YouTube, but fair to put all that blame on networks. Networks did not magically come in and change the way that everybody else views YouTube and just make these people successful. It's kind of been like that for a while, and there are successful Black YouTubers. They just tend to be in the comedy realm. But even in the natural hair and beauty sector, the Black British girls are winning according to their numbers. They're doing pretty well. And so it's partly in that the networks have come in and helped certain channels gain more exposure. Yes, that's true. It's a large part of the reason why I signed to Makers, because I watched Shameless Maya grow exponentially since signing to the platform. But also, location matters. If you are based in the city where your network is, it helps a lot. Makers has offices in New York and in LA. So people that are based out of New York and LA tend to get a little bit more opportunity than those of us based in outer cities, but it really is up to you to make the most of it. I travel often, and so I'll be at Fashion Week this weekend, and they had me doing some sort of photo shoot with some skinny girls, and I got a big old gut. I don't know what I'm going to do. There are other things aside from race that impact how your channel is perceived, and really don't allow your race to discourage you from pursuing better options. I'm not trying to say that you should not stay on YouTube holistically, but YouTube doesn't provide any real support for you as a content creator, especially if you have less than 1 million subscribers. Signing to a network, one of the big things for me was getting customer service, dealing with the content ID struggle, dealing with copyright claims, people stealing my videos, people coming on and harassing you on your channel. If someone flags your videos enough, YouTube will just take your channel down without any warning. That won't happen signed to the right network. And so there were a lot of benefits aside just from the monetization factor that went into my decision with signing to a network. Whether or not you decide to exclusively sign to a network, talk to some networks, see what they're offering. ask questions, and negotiate. Reach out to other people who are signed in the networks. Now, that doesn't mean that you go send a message to It's My Ray Ray about signing to the platform. Find other people that are signed to the platform that are within your demographic and within your number range to see what their experiences is. Ray Ray is going to be a different experience from somebody with 15,000 to 30,000 subscribers on their channel. So reach out to other YouTubers that have around the same numbers and are offering similar content as you and see what their experience has been on the network. You will not receive if you do not ask, so ask. The worst I can tell you is no, we cannot offer that to you. I asked 1,000,001 questions. I asked for a ton of things. I got some of them. I did not get all of them. I negotiated. You should negotiate too. If you do get to the point of signing a contract, read your contract. I know some of y'all don't even like reading the description box, but you got to read your contract. And I think that's where a lot of the negativity is coming in. Nowhere in my contract does it say that I'm going to be the next Michelle Fan. And generally speaking, because the network is doing work for you behind the scenes and they are upping your CPMs, they do take a percentage of your ad revenue. It can, speaking for a lot of us in the regular range, it ranges from 40 to 25%, unless you're doing real numbers. I know that sounds daunting to say, hey, I'm going to give somebody 30% of my ad revenue. For me, I can't disclose my percentage, but I have made more money signed to a network than I have when I was getting 100% of my regular YouTube, because as I said before, YouTube is not selling the ad space exclusively on your videos. Communicate with your network. If you do sign with a network, be upfront with them about your expectations, because I have been very upfront and very vocal, and I have a great community manager. I have a great relationship with my community manager. We do talk often, and I've been very explicit about my expectations and what I would like and what I think my network can improve on, specifically with dealing with the brown girls here on YouTube. I've been to the point that before I signed to makers, I explicitly told them that I felt like they were only dealing with racially ambiguous girls, and I didn't see anybody that closely was really rocking for the African Americans signed to their network. Turns out they did have a few of us signed. They just weren't doing a whole lot with them, and I mentioned this to them, and they told me what's going on and how they plan to better themselves and work. And I can say, at least from my dealings, is that they have made a genuine effort, but that effort largely depends on how much work you are willing to put in. These people that are signing networks and seeing a lot of growth are putting in just as much, if not more work than their network to grow their channel. And so it's a partnership. What questions should you ask when talking to a network? You should ask them, what are their plans for growth in the coming year? Can they give you an example of another channel that has similar numbers when they sign to the network and what their growth is? Do they have any case studies? What kind of brand partnerships are they offering? Please don't sign to a network just because they talk a good game and they're giving you and they're taking a really low chunk of your ad revenue. If they're just going to offer you deals with, like, you know, nuts and berries, they're going to send you like Kind bars in the mail. You really want to make sure that the brand partnerships that can potentially be offered are relevant to what you are doing on YouTube. If they can connect you to another content creator who'll be willing to answer your questions, see what it can do. So specifically with my dealings with makers, I low-key am very biased. I love makers. Prior to being signed to makers, I was signed to Alchemy. I had the worst experience ever. Now when I signed to Alchemy, my dashboard did kind of sort of disappear. It wasn't all the way up to date, and it was chasing them down for my money every month. I had a really horrible experience. Fortunately, makers has always kept your dashboard visible, even prior to YouTube making a requirement. And they also send me a pay stub every month to let me know how much money I made and what they taken of it and how that works out. And they also have a dashboard that I can sign in exclusively with them to see what money I'm bringing in from any exclusive brand deals I might have with them and any referrals. And I really like the transparency that makers has offered. They are making an effort to be more inclusive and to do more with people that are outside of LA and New York and more of us brown girls. And they don't make any false promises, which is why I love them even more, because it's very easy for people to say, yes, we can do this. When I signed to Alchemy, they gave me a contract that said everything I wanted it to say. It was amazing. And then they did none of it. They did absolutely none of it. They kept up with nothing. And so I appreciate so much more when I say something to somebody at Makers about, hey, you know, I feel like you guys are great with doing beauty kind of eye mats, but there are things that are relevant to the Black community, like Essence Festival. And they said, you know what? We haven't really been good at that. If you could help us out and, you know, send us some links and updates, we have contacts with these companies. We'll look into it and see what we can do. It wasn't, yes, girl, we're going to fly out to Essence in July. It wasn't, yes, we're absolutely going to do this. It was, we will honest answer. And I appreciate that so much more than yesing me. It's so important. If you are interested in joining Makers, I can't answer everybody's emails. I have a full-time job and I'm not a network consultant. But leave your questions down below. I really don't care for responding to personal emails because it's easier for me to answer questions on a public platform where other people who have the same questions might see them. So I'm not responding to the same questions a million times in a day. But also when I do my tech tweet up on February 18th, I will cover partnerships. I will be tweeting for an entire hour from 7:30 to 8:30. So that'd be a great place to ask me more questions, and I will be tweeting more about the technicalities of joining to a network. It's really not that complicated. I think it is a great opportunity to join. No man is the island, and you really, in order to grow, you need to have a team behind you, and I think it's a great opportunity for growth, but do your research. So if you are interested, I have a link down below where you can submit your info to Makers and the platform, and they'll get back to you and let you know if your channel is up for being signed to them. I do get a referral, you know, commission that's not that much, but it's something. Ask me questions and you end up signing to Makers, you need to use my link, girls, because I'm out here spreading the wealth. So help a sister out too, and everybody can collect commissions, whoever refers people to the to a network. Most networks have a referral bonus. It's like a job. Same thing. All right. I hope this helps. Next Tuesday, I'll be giving you tips, finally, on how to make your YouTube channel kind of successful. I'm not always successful, but I'm getting there. So I'm going to give you some of my tips on what you can do to make your YouTube channel successful. All right. Thanks for watching. Deuces.